Hi everyone, Pam here from Creative Homescaping. Today I'm going to be participating in the UFO Challenge, the Unfinished Objects Challenge, that has been issued by Denise Jordan of This and That with Denise Jordan and Shara of Shara C. Please check out their channels using the links in my description box down below, as well as the playlist, which I'll put in there when it's available. So for this challenge, they tasked us with finishing some project that we have in our house that is unfinished. Now I really racked my brain for this one because my projects that are unfinished are actually large home remodeling projects that it's going to take us a few more years to complete. So I'm like, what can I finish in 2 weeks? I had no clue. I have a lot of things that I have some materials for that I want to work on, but I haven't started them yet. And then it came to me in the middle of the night, and I will show it to you in just a second. Okay, are you ready? Here is my unfinished project. Okay, I don't know if you can tell what this is. This is very fine needlepoint canvas, which is sometimes called petit point. Petit for petite, meaning small. And you can see there. Any guesses as to what this is? Put your guess down in the comments below before I tell you what it is. Okay, this is a petit point rug for a dollhouse, and there is a very funny story associated with this. I actually started this, if you can believe it, when I was 14 years old. That is nearly 40 years ago. Why have I not finished it? Well, I finished doing all of the petit point probably about a year after I started it, because I was going to school and I was involved in other activities, so I didn't work on it consistently all the time. But I did finish it, and then my mother and I moved. We moved about 400 miles from where we were living at the time. And then we moved from an apartment to an apartment and then to a house. And I do remember I had seen this when we were at the house, but then at some point it just got lost. We could not find it anywhere. Normally I kept all of these dollhouse type items in the dollhouse that I had, and you're wondering why a teenager had a dollhouse. Well, some of you may know this, but there is a whole hobby around doing miniatures and collecting miniatures, and since I couldn't have my own house and decorate it, I had a dollhouse that I was working on to decorate because I loved to decorate, as I still do. Now I have my own house, however. But this got lost. We could not find it anywhere. My mother searched high and low. It was not in the dollhouse. We kept looking and looking and looking. We could not find it anywhere. Well, a few years ago, when my mother passed away, we were going through her personal paperwork and belongings, and I found a file envelope in her file drawer, that kind of with a flap on it, and I was going through her papers and pulling out anything important, so I pulled the stack of papers out of that envelope and I started going through them, and in the middle of that stack of papers was this rug. I could not believe it. We had given it up for lost, for good. We could not believe that I had found it. I had been looking for this thing for many, many years. As you can tell, it's quite detailed. It has 2 different colors of blue and then this cream color. And the thing that's left on it is that you need to fold this edge in. You can see I'd already folded it in, and then you put binding stitches along the edge to cover the canvas, and then you put a backing on it to hold it all in place securely. And I never had gotten around to doing that. And I could not believe that I'd located it. So, as you can see now, because it was in with papers, it's a bit discolored at the edges. I may cut that part off, but it does need to be washed. I had never washed it and blocked it. So that is what I'm going to do. And I am going to use this product, which some of you may have seen in my laundry room declutter and reorganization series. And this supposedly removes stains and yellowings from old fabrics and is very delicate. So I'm going to use this, and you will get to see how it works and whether it actually can take out some of the stains here and some of the yellowing around the edges. I'm going to do that so I can block it more square before I actually finish the binding on it. So stay tuned. That's what I'm going to do. And because it's really hard to get this type of yarn anymore, this is called Persian wool, I'm probably just going to bind it with some cross-stitch thread that's a similar color. I have a whole bunch of cross-stitch thread. I used to do that as well. And then I will show you it when it's all done. Okay, here is the finished rug. I don't know if you can see this because it's pretty tiny, but I did the stitching on the edge of the rug to bind it off. And I've decided I don't really need to put the backing on it. It's lying pretty flat. I did stitch down a couple of the corners here so that they would hold them together, but just doing the binding stitch along the edge here, that's holding it in place. And since it's only for a dollhouse, it doesn't really get moved around. Obviously people aren't walking on it. So just so you can see how it looks, here's a piece of dollhouse furniture on it. Sorry about the lighting. It's overcast here this morning. We get this marine layer called June gloom. There's another look at it with a piece of the dollhouse furniture. So I am so happy that this rug is finally finished after nearly 4 decades. So I feel very happy to have finished this after nearly 40 years and it being lost for over 25 of those years. So thank you, Denise, for this challenge. And also Shara C. Please check out their channels as well as the playlist down below. And if you're new to my channel, I hope you will consider subscribing because I post several videos a week on how to creatively manage and decorate your home. And in a couple of weeks, I'll be starting my fall decorating series. I did post a video recently that was part of a challenge on a garland I created for my mantle, so you can check that out. But I will have a lot more videos coming up on fall decorating. I appreciate all of you tuning in today, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.